next week.
Here we go.
Awesome. We're headed down to Dallas as a show. We've got 4-hour shows live in Dallas, a special Saturday night show. Schrager's going to be all over the coverage. We have the whole thing covered on NFL Network. And there's so much intrigue over who will land where. And all of it keeps building and building and changing as we go. And there are several players in the mix for the top picks. So we're going to play another round of ripple effects. The last time we looked at the impact of who would go to the Browns with the first overall pick. Now let's take a look at who the Giants could take with the second overall pick. So the ripple effect that will create for the other picks on Thursday night in Dallas. So to get us started here, as only he can, here's Commissioner Roger Goodell.
With the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select
Sam Darnold, quarterback, USC.
With the second pick in the 2018 NFL Draft,
the New York Giants select Saquon Barkley, running back, Penn State.
Saquon!
Saquon coming to New York.
Saquon's coming here. Hey, how about Goodell? That was seamless. Sound like a video game from the 90s. All right, so I really wanted to go a different direction than this. I didn't want to go the ripple effect that it would cause on the actual draft. I wanted to go ripple effect on what it would cause on the NFL. So Saquon coming to New York, having the running back that they've always wanted. And first I started thinking about the definition of a ripple. And not that cryptocurrency I don't understand. The definition is two of them. The type of ice cream that has wavy lines through it with a colored flavor. And that sort of reminded me of Odell's hair, right? The colored flavored ice cream that drips over its face. And then the first definition is a small wave caused by one object dropping into the water. So here's the thing. Saquon Barkley will be that one thing that causes a huge wave, a huge ripple in this offense. And I was going to show a boat image of all the guys partying on the boat, not before a playoff game, but after they win a playoff game. And that's how good the Giants will be if they get Saquon Barkley. All of a sudden, we'll be talking about these guys going into the postseason and possibly going back to the Super Bowl.
Wow. Number 2 is rich for a running back. The last guy taken number 2, Reggie Bush, but it could work out.
It could work
He's
out.
that sort of a force.
That's if he's there, you know.
And that's a steal in your mind, Nate. Honestly, like it's a steal at 2 because you think he should go at 1 to Cleveland.
Back in football, he's going to have
Don't you
immediate
think?
impact.
Don't you guys feel like every former NFL player is saying Saquon should go 1 or 2?
Yes.
Well,
There seems to be
not
a lot of that.
There's all the analysts. There's in Scott. I feel like there's people who do mock drafts don't have him that high. Every NFL player is saying number 1, number 2.
Yeah, and that's it. We'll see what happens though. Goodell.
All right, so let's
Who's up
reset
next?
everything. I mean, we got to go back to the commissioner at the podium for the next ripple effect pick. Commish.
with the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select
Sam Darnold, quarterback, USC.
With the second pick in the 2018 NFL Draft,
The New York Giants select Josh Allen, quarterback, Wyoming. Josh Allen, off the board to the New York Giants. Here's the ripple. The place goes absolutely crazy. Some of the cheering in Jerry World is actually Cowboys fans deriding the pick of their arch rival. Okay. Odell immediately tweets 9-route season, SCN. Des Bryant tweets the same. That's the Giants. They do not retweet. Next, the headlines come out of New York. The Daily News, they go with Billy Joel. It says, living in Allentown. They absolutely love it. Now, the Post, unfortunately, went with Josh and the Giant Reach. They went very negative on it, very negative. Gotcha. And guys, the Eli memes, they'll make your head spin. They got that shot of Eli looking in the booth with the Eli face, plain and simple, and it says, when you go to 2 Super Bowls and get replaced by the guy in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, there's tons of Eli memes, but Dave Gettleman comes out and says, I told you guys, you can't quit on talent and you can't pass on it either. We are set up for the next decade. We believe in this now. What happens to the draft? There goes another quarterback that maybe somebody thought wasn't going to go. The Broncos at 5 gets a little dicey now. Saquon is now on the clock. If the Jets want it and don't want to take, they probably don't, which means if they take a quarterback at 2, I think that the Cleveland Browns will get their quarterback and their running back in the first 4 picks. It's a big ripple. Giants taking a quarterback at 2 could flip the table of this thing if they decide to go that way.
That's so true. And at this point, the Bills, Brandon Beane is sweating bullets up there in Buffalo. This is the way it starts.
Top 2 quarterbacks are gone. There's only a few more left. What do we do?
Brandon Beane is a huge fan of Saquon and Chubb and Nelson. He likes all the non-quarterbacks to be taken. You know what I mean? So he can get down and get that value, but not in this mock draft.
One last one. Let's reset and rejoin the commission at the podium.
With the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select
Sam Darnold, quarterback, USC.
with the second pick in the 2018 NFL Draft,
The New York Giants select Quentin Nelson, guard, Notre Dame.
Interior lineman at 2.
Giants draft a guard second overall. It would be the highest a guard has been drafted since 2001 when Leonard Davis was drafted by the Cardinals. And then before that, 1985, Bill Fralick was drafted by the Falcons. So only 3 offensive guards would be drafted that high since 1985. And what's that mean? It means that Dave Gettleman loves his hog mollies. Let me explain.
Hog mollies.
Hog mollies. Let's look at the definition from Urban Dictionary of what a hog molly is, okay? Urban Dictionary. I'm there often. A big dude, especially an offensive lineman in football. Now, why do I say hog mollies? Dave Gettleman is obsessed with the word hog mollies.
Okay.
Right? I can go through it. 2017, all right? Introductory press conference with the Giants. This is his quote. The O-line and the D-line. I believe in the hog mollies. We've had some great groups here, had great groups everywhere else I've been, and we're going to get back to that. They do allow you to compete, the hog mollies. Okay, quote number 2. The Combine this past year, Dave Gettleman. Well, you know what? You look at what New Orleans was having that great run, part of their Super Bowl era. What did they do? They had 2 hog molly guards because there isn't a quarterback alive who's ever going to say in the huddle, hey, okay, boys, let them up in the middle. I'll deal with it. Hog mollies. Number 3, the Combine, again, on evaluating offensive linemen. Dave Gettleman used this very word.
Go on.
When you evaluate hog mollies, you have to be patient. You have to take your time. So you look at the things that all the great ones do. You have to look at all the basics. Does he play with a base? Can he roll his hips? Can he do this? Can he do that? You will find those guys in the 2-point that can do that. Dave Gettleman loves hog mollies. He's got 2 words, big uglies and hog mollies. When you are that obsessed with something and the greatest hog molly potentially to ever enter the draft in the last 15 years comes walking through that door at number 2, it is a possibility. So if they take Quentin Nelson, number 2 overall, it is just a testament to how much Dave Gettleman, the general manager of the New York Giants, loves his hog mollies.
At least he uses hog mollies right instead of Hugh Jackson, who uses Pied Piper wrong.
Everywhere. And up in the Raiders, they love Turkey Hole, and the Giants hog molly. Hog and the molly is also a faux pas, Coachella, I think. But I would like it, though. I would respect the hell out of that pick, to be in your opponent's stadium where you're supposed to put on a show and keep up with the Joneses or something and say, we think this is the best player. Our offensive line has not been good. Let's get a guard and be secure as hell with ourselves. I know everyone's quarterbacks. We need a guard. He's the best player. We're taking the molly.
There's a great debate to be had. Where do you value an offensive guard? If you're telling me right now this guy is a 10-time All-Pro, Hall of Fame offensive guard, is he still even worth the number 2 overall pick? Or would you rather have a not as stellar quarterback for the future, or Saquon Barkley, who might play 5 years for you? The offensive guard position, not the offensive tackle, the offensive guard position. What is the value? If you're telling me this guy is Steve Hutchinson or this guy is Bill Fralick, like that good, is he even worth the number 2 overall pick?
No,
I don't know.
Economically, a quarterback is worth the number 2 overall pick.
Yeah.
If you're not taking a quarterback, you should call Brandon Beane and make the trade. That's still how I feel, even if Saquon Barkley is the transcendent player that we all know.
Right. But Beane is going to have to be willing to pay a huge price. Like, to 2 is, that's everything. I mean, you got to empty the whole bag. Maybe next year's pick, the next year after that's pick.
You got rid of Tyrod Taylor and you moved up from 20, where? 22?
To 12.
To 12 for a reason.
21 to 12. The Jets kind of screwed everyone else who's looking to trade up because they gave up 3 second-round picks to just move up 3 picks. So what does that mean? What does that? The Giants have to demand more than that, right? Like if the Bills are going to come up from 12, like you got to give me a lot more than that.
Right.
To go from 3 to 6 and give up your entire second round and all this collection of picks, it makes the number 2 pick even that more valuable. I'm not sure teams even have the ammunition to get up there.
That's risky, and it's the ultimate risk versus reward. You talked about it. KB said be secure with picking an offensive lineman.
If that's your guy, get your guy.
The thing about it, usually that would give you, I guess, give the fans patience. If you get offensive line, it's all right, we'll give him time. We know he's going to turn out. But in recent years, though, there's been some trouble with offensive line selections for the Giants. So fans might say, whoa, wait a minute. When we start going early on these offensive linemen, they don't pan out. That sets us back quite a bit. The one thing you do run the risk is when you get a quarterback, when you get a running back, the running back they want to see right now, and your results better be right now. Quarterback, they're like, okay, if this guy sits back and he doesn't play, and then he does play a few years from now and he's not that good, we're going to think about this. And that usually gets GMs fired.
Just buy some time. I'm trying to think if they take Quentin Nelson. It's a great pick, right? And it's a need that they clearly have had for the past several years. And now they have Nate Solder, which is amazing. I still won't know the answer to the question I want answered, which is, are you winning now or are you rebuilding for the future? Because he does both of those things.
It's true.
It's crazy. I'm trying to think of Giants. Jets fans would be upset because it's like, no. You're not taking a guard. No, we need a quarterback. Giants fans, I wonder if the Giant fan looks at it differently. In the most quarterback-rich draft we've had in recent years, with Saquon Barkley, who's going to be maybe the best running back in the league in the next couple of years, the way people are talking about him, and Bradley Chubb, who just got rid of Jason Pierre-Paul. Bradley Chubb could be the next great pass rusher in the league. If you took an offensive guard,
it's not a beauty
all
pageant.
of them.
It's not a pageant. It doesn't immediately make your team better? Immediately,
this
unquestionably.
This draft is drunk. Go home.
That's it. I'd like it. I think it takes stones to do it.
You think the Giants fans would be upset if they got a quarterback?
No, an offensive guard.
An offensive guard? I think these Giants fans are confused because...
Well, I think you're confused, man.
They might be upset if they get a quarterback, too. Ushering Eli out
They might be upset with
That's
everything.
what I'm saying. To me, they're so intriguing because I don't know, are they planning for the future and taking a quarterback, or are they playing right now, and that's like adding a Saquon Barkley? If they take Quentin Nelson, I still will not know what the actual deal is.
I feel like half of them say, let's get another player outside of a quarterback that can make our team better right now. And then the other half are saying, no, let's get a quarterback because we need somebody for the future. But those are the same fans that were crying like Britney Spears fans saying, leave Eli alone last year, and they don't know what they want. So the question is, if you're a true fan for the Giants, what do you want? You want talent around Eli, or do you want to replace Eli?
How do the Britney fans?
Leave Eli alone.
Chris Crocker is that guy's name. Chris Crocker, look him up. What's up, Chris?
All right, we haven't talked enough about Lamar Jackson, I feel like, and you're saying they could, a quarterback of his caliber could be a huge value, falling to the Bills maybe later on in the draft. What is it going to